Hi everyone, it's Gary Nicholson here at the Mountain Weather Information Service. This is your Planning Outlook video on Friday the 9th of November. Now, nothing genuinely wintry about the forecast for the time being. For the next week at least, the wind more or less out of the south. It will bring rain frequently in from the Atlantic, wettest regions, the south-facing hills across western mountains. Some windy days, some days where winds will reach gale force on the mountains. Further ahead, indications favour a build of pressure and something quieter beyond the middle of the month. Let's start with a look at rainfall. This is total 5-day rainfall through until Wednesday. It's from a fairly coarse resolution model, but it gives that general theme of where the wettest locations are going to be. The very highest rainfall total, 75 to 100 mil, could be quite a bit more than that in a few spots. West and South Wales, the southern side of the Lake District, Dumfries and Galloway, and into the southwestern Highlands. The focus for the most frequent heavy rain. Across the Southern Highlands as a whole, looking pretty wet, but you go further north, the areas for the Cairngorms, and particularly the Northwest Highlands away from Skye, seeing very little rainfall in the week ahead. Other favoured spots, the Borders, the Cheviots doing pretty well, the North Pennines not seeing too much, and the Peak District as well, generally not getting too much rain coming in here. In those wetter areas, though, it's all going to be rather wet underfoot, and just be aware of some high river levels or some flooding in places in the days ahead. Looking at temperatures, and this is the 850 millibar level that we use, and that's currently at around 12 to 1300 metres, so around the highest tops in Scotland, and that's where you're going to find the freezing level more or less over the next week or so. Only those highest tops just dipping below freezing, otherwise most of the hills and mountains running just above freezing point. We'll skip on over a few days. There's not a great deal of change in the general air mass from day to day heading through into the start of next week. Just occasional slightly cooler pushes which might take you down to a -1, perhaps as low as 900 metres, but generally you're just above freezing. A push then of milder air comes in from the south as we go through the middle of the week, so a slight change there to much milder conditions just for a few days. If I just skip on toward the end of the week, it stays mild with the airflow always coming up from the south. Let's have a look at the synoptic charts for the next few days, and for Saturday a front will have moved through overnight. We're then left with a generally showery air mass coming in from the southwest. Some heavy bursts will be around, some hail, isolated rumble of thunder can't be ruled out. Most frequent across western hills, across Wales, across the Lakes and Pennines and into western Scotland. Fewest showers toward the northeastern side of the Highlands, the odd one or two can't be ruled out. Locally, they could give some frequent precipitation, and above, say, 8 or 900 metres, especially in Scotland, will fall as snow, some hail mixed in at times as well. Strongest winds early in the day, nudging gale force for a time, will tend to ease down a bit through the day. A similar situation for Sunday really. Again, it's a story of showers, some of these heavy with hail, isolated thunder again possible, most frequent around western mountains, snow on the Scottish Munros above 900, maybe 1000 metres, and fewest showers once again towards northeastern Scotland, across the far northwest Highlands, and fewest showers too again across the eastern side of the Pennines. Not particularly windy, but still feeling cold where exposed, and gusty around showers. Subtle variations into Monday, just slightly more active feature across western regions may result in showers much more frequently, one after another, at times merging into almost constant precipitation. The freezing level nudging up a little bit, so it may just be the very highest tops where they fall as snow. Again, there'll be the risk of some hail mixed in there with the heavier showers. And the fewest showers, again, across northeastern side of the Highlands and into the Pennines, and across East Wales, seeing fewer showers as well. A blustery day could easily be up to gale force, and again, gusty, squally winds around the showers. Looks a fairly windy day as well into Tuesday. Uncertainty of absolute detail, but it's an ongoing southwesterly flow that's in charge. Showers maybe not as frequent as Monday, but focused again on western mountains across Scotland. A few scattered showers, western hills of England and Wales, and fewest showers and highest cloud bases again across more eastern mountains. Some further fronts are edging in from the southwest into Ireland later on. And by the time we get through into Wednesday, it looks as though that develops into a more organised frontal system. This is where the much milder air is then sweeping in for the second half of the week, and with that some heavier rain for a time. It looks as though it pushes northwards into Scotland, focusing again on the south-facing hills across the southwest Highlands, Dumfries and Galloway. For a time that may also affect parts of England and Wales before it does push northwards. Some murky conditions with extensive low cloud within the humid air mass that's coming up from the south behind that warm front. So for the second half of the week, it's that prevailing southerly airstream that's in charge. Low pressure is out to the west of us, high pressure is away across central eastern Europe, and it's that mild pattern that will be there, I think, even through into the following weekend. It may just be that weather systems and fronts begin to fade somewhat and conditions become relatively drier as the influence of high pressure over Europe just gets a bit nearer. A lot of low cloud, murky conditions in places from low levels up, especially around Irish Sea coast, up the western coast of Scotland too. The far north of Scotland, the Cairngorms, the northern side of the Highlands, always doing best for the highest cloud bases with this flow from the south. So that's your best spot for getting some cloud-free high tops. Otherwise, I think it's just an ongoing story of air coming up from the south and rather murky, dank November weather with bits and pieces of rain at times. Just the hint this is running on now more towards the 20th of November, so a bit further down the line, that high pressure just takes more control and it's blocking the progress of Atlantic weather systems coming in. So the high centering somewhere over central northern Europe, the airflow coming around maybe from the east to southeast. Again, a rather murky, perhaps damp atmosphere at times, small amounts of rain in total, things looking fairly mild. We need to watch then if anything at all comes in more directly from the east and draws in anything colder before we get to the end of the month. But nothing absolutely concrete on that just at the moment. I suspect it's relatively mild just for the time being. We'll update the video again for you early next week. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.